Hi, my name is Matilda and welcome to my channel.
Intro.
Today we'll be doing a monthly book wrap-up for the month of August where I read 7 books, all of them romances, and I thought that it would be more interesting if I
Ranked the books
based on the dateability of the significant others. So I'll be doing a ranking of the significant others, of the boyfriends, with one exception, from the books, from the least to most dateable. And I will also be giving the book rankings, and the rank of the book is not reflected in its position in the ranking, because it's just about the how bearable the relationship would be. So we'll kick things off with a person who's completely undateable from me, which is the titular Dear Aaron from Mariana Zapata's book. And I am putting him so low because it's just not a vibe that I could ever vibe with. Completely not my sense of humor, not my type of interest, not my type of guy. It's a guy that kind of wants you to engage in his hobbies, one of them being fishing, which is just not for me. I don't want to do that. I just rather do most things rather than fish, to be quite honest. And also I don't like his sense of humor because it's really gross. The theme of skid marks, for my Polish viewers, skid mark, it's the mark that poop leaves in your underwear if you don't wipe correctly. The theme of skid marks and other bodily fluids was kind of frequent in the conversation between Aaron and our protagonist. I kind of feel bad giving this book only 2 stars out of 5. It was really competently written because Mariana Zapata is really good at just, comprehensive language. I just didn't enjoy it, and there weren't any specific or original bits about it to just bump it up to 3 stars. So it's a 2-star read for me. In place number 6, we have Eric from The Wedding Proposal by John Swenziger. It's a very short novella, audio novella on Audible, and I did not mind the story, but Eric is a rather silly person, or maybe that's just not it. He's very lighthearted. Silly is kind of judging him, and I don't think he's stupid, but it's also not a vibe that I could get behind. But he is very supportive in a way that I enjoy, so I think I just prefer Eric over Aaron. And the book that's a 3-star. Is it a 3-star? Yeah, I'd give it a 3-star. The premise was interesting because Dear Aaron is a book about a girl starting a correspondence with a soldier, and The Wedding Proposal is a story of a girl who gets broken up with 2 weeks before her wedding and decides to donate the wedding to a receptive couple, to just so that somebody can benefit from her non-refundable, bookings, flower arrangements and stuff like that. So it was pretty interesting. 3 stars. In place number 5, I have both Delilah and Claire from Delilah Doesn't Care by Delilah Green Doesn't Care by A.H. Blake, and it's just again a matter of incompatibility. I don't think either of them were bad partners, but both of them have had different sort of intimacy or commitment issues. They had different personal problems which are just incompatible with me. And this is a lesbian romance about a girl, Delilah, who's employed as a wedding photographer for her bossy stepsister Astrid. Out of all the girls in it, there's also a friend called Iris. Astrid is the one that I would vibe with. She's a very type A person. She's a very organized person. Delilah is very artistic, very, very artistic, and also perceives the world in a very poetic way. I got the feeling from time to time, which is not something that I could vibe with. Like, I don't think I could vibe with a person who just... I love, for example, nature, but I just see a beautiful stream. I don't think that this stream symbolizes anything in real life, you know what I mean? And when it comes to Claire, she's just not really very interesting to me. As a prospective person, I would befriend all the girls from this book. And I give this book 4 stars. Just, I don't know, like a fun fact about me. If a girl character in a book has short hair, that kind of compensates for any sort of lacks that she could have in her personality for me. All of them have long hair. That's probably why, actually. Not with personality, it's just because all of them have long hair. No, but in general, I wouldn't date either Delilah or Claire. In place number 5, we have Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone. I don't remember the name of the guy, but I think he was pretty cool, but I don't like that he often spouts kind of like feminist statements. I mean, I wouldn't see a guy proclaiming things as, of course, women are just as strong as men, or of course, we have to split household labor 50-50 just out of the left field as a green flag. This is a yellow flag because our conversation is tangentially related to the topic of feminism. Just because I am a woman, why are you kind of like saying those political or like those weird declarations? They have no place in this conversation about our favorite cleaning products, you know? What I mean is just, he just said like feminist catchphrases all the time, and I know myself, I would find that suspicious. I mean, I wouldn't mind that if we were talking about feminism, but if we don't do it just randomly in an unrelated context, probably you're not as feminist as you're saying. In the 3rd place, we have Ji-hoon from The Comeback by Lily Chu. This is a story of Ariadne who starts a relationship with a guy who turns out to be a K-pop idol. I don't think that's a spoiler, it really says so in the description of the book. It's an audiobook as well. And I think he was actually a pretty good partner. But dating a K-pop idol comes with a lot of setbacks. For example, the dating ban. They are not really allowed to date, so you'd have to be discreet. Also, if you're a foreigner, Ariadne actually is, I think, a Chinese Canadian. She doesn't speak Chinese. She's Canadian in general, Asian Canadian, and that's how she sees herself. And she has a very Canadian mindset. So yeah, Ji-hoon is in the 3rd place, but Ariadne has a very individualistic mindset because she's Canadian, and Ji-hoon has a very collectivist mindset because he's Korean. And what I mean by that is that Ariadne, by Ji-hoon's standards and mine, is very selfish. Not really just not even selfish, but not understanding of the commitments and cultural context that Ji-hoon exists in. It's like she was completely unprepared to date a K-pop idol. I'm not going to spoil anything, but that's just kind of how I felt about it, and that's why I give it also 3 stars, even though Ji-hoon I would give like 4.5 stars. He's like a very self-sacrificing person as well, so that's a downgrade for you, but possibly an upgrade for him, but an upgrade for you as a prospective partner. So you would just have to be very mindful not to make him do stuff he's not uncomfortable with, because he would do it for you. So he tries very hard. But Ariadne, I don't really love. So kind of I know what also made this book's rating lower. I mean, Ariadne and Ji-hoon are planning on doing Camino de Santiago. This is a trek throughout the north of Spain. It's a pilgrimage. You have to walk multiple kilometers per day and just to reach Santiago de Compostela. I did part of that walk, and their plan was to send their luggage ahead every day. And I know that people can have certain physical limitations so that sending, their luggage ahead or using a bus from time to time in order to make that would be fine. But if you frankly take what it's supposed to be a hike with kind of like a deeply spiritual meaning, I don't even mean religious meaning, but walking multiple kilometers per day in a very sparse environment is just... the part that I walked was very desert-like for the most part. So if you walk that type of road, you're supposed to, reflect and do stuff. And I just think that carrying your backpack is part of the experience. So unless you have an excuse, it's just lazy. And I don't know, it's like you're not appreciating the culture of the endeavor you want to engage in. You know what I mean? And in place number 2, we have Hunt from Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. In Poland, the book is split into 2. I just read the first part. And Hunt, I think, based on the first book, seems like a pretty cool, supportive, possibly supportive partner, because there are a very devoted partner too, because we only have the histories of his ex-girlfriend and there is no relationship in the book yet. I just have to place him that high. When it comes to the book, I would give it 4 stars. I don't think I can give it 5 because it's just not excellent, but frankly, the beginning, I won't spoil it because that would ruin everything, but the decision that Sarah J. Maas made to do the thing, if you've read, you know, like if you know, you know, to do the thing, iconic, dare I say, really iconic. And that's why it gets 4 stars for me. I'm not going to say it's an excellent book. The language is very poor, but I don't mind the info dumping that she does, just giving you tons of details about the characters. I don't mind it at all. I like them. It's just something that I read for pleasure, and this gave me a lot of pleasure and satisfaction. And in place number 1, I listened to this audiobook twice this month. Like I ended it and then I restarted it and listened to it once again. It's Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone. It was in my top listens of the last year. It's a romantic comedy about a girl who kind of falls in love, I think, who gets a crush on a customer service representative who's supposed to fix her website. And his name is, I think, Carl. I don't remember. Because he has like multiple names in the book. It's somewhat relevant. He is amazing though. I really like him. He has the same kind of borderline the same fault that the guy from, so he had the faults of the guy from Sweet Talk with kind of implementing those feminist slogans, but barely, if at all. Like he does it just like the way that Carl, let's call him Carl, I don't want to check, does it is kind of a green flag because it was at least related, or he does it in a way that feels natural to me, whereas the Sweet Talk guy just freaking, I can just see the quotes kind of above his head anytime that he says them. They are just out of place. So Carl is amazing. I would definitely date him. I would marry him as well. I absolutely love him, and I get how our main character just got a crush on him super quickly. And I don't even know what he looks like, and I don't care, but he has a very pleasant voice in the audiobook. So that would be it. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you're interested in further book reviews in English, and for Polish people who watched it, you can expect more content in Polish as well. I will keep doing book reviews in English, but some Polish content is upcoming. I'm also just, I think, going to have some exciting projects to announce soon-ish, or at least one project. All my social media, such as my TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, if you're into it, are in the description box. And if you really enjoyed my content, maybe consider buying me a coffee, or Kira a bone, supporting us in general via links in the description box. But still, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. I hope to see you next month at least, and bye-bye.